A green roof is a series of specialized layers and products that enable us to grow plants on rooftops, either at grade, above grade, or below grade. Every green roof system has a high quality waterproofing layer, a root repellent layer to prevent roots from penetrating that waterproofing over time, a drainage layer so that we don't collect water on the roof. It drains on a regular basis during major storms. There's a filter cloth that goes above that drainage layer to protect the drainage layer from getting clogged. Growing medium, not soil, not dirt, but growing medium, which is an engineered material that has all kinds of performance characteristics in it. It has to be lightweight, but support the plants and drain readily. And then, of course, the plants, the most beautiful part of the green roof of all. And the ultimate goal here is for us to build buildings, new buildings, and retrofit buildings so that they're restorative, so that they give back more than they take over their life cycle. And a green roof is exceptionally good at doing that, particularly in an urban environment, because it cleans the air, pulls particulate matter out of the air, because it generates oxygen and sequesters carbon dioxide, because it reduces the urban heat island, the artificial heating of the city. All these rooftops are like hot plates that heat the city up. When you put a green roof on, because of what's called evapotranspiration, they cool the city down. You also get the beautiful aspects of a green roof. There are biodiversity benefits. You can use these roof spaces in our cities for areas for play and to relax, because many times we forget about the roofs and they're a neglected part of the urban fabric. We can grow food on top of roofs, which is really important as we get more concerned about reducing climate change, greenhouse gas production related to food transportation, and when we get concerned about food security and being able to increase our ability to feed ourselves regionally. So for those and a whole host of other reasons, green roofs make a lot of sense to be installing in cities. So imagine for a second if we took 10 to 20% of all the buildings in the city. We're talking very large area, over 5,000 hectares, well over 5,000 hectares. And we start designing those buildings and retrofitting those roofs so that they can do all the economically advantageous stuff, save energy, manage stormwater, allow the waterproofing systems to last longer because they're protected from the ultraviolet radiation and the heat and cold, which is a benefit for the building owner. But at the same time, allow children to come up and grow food or seniors to garden on them. And when you reduce the temperature by 1 degree centigrade, you reduce what's called the peak load demand by about 4%, maybe higher in Toronto. That's hundreds of megawatts of energy. So think about it like this. If we spent some money, provincial tax dollars, on the greening of our cities across Ontario, using green roofs and urban forests and reflective roofs, we could, in effect, create sort of an air conditioning kind of situation for our cities, and we wouldn't have to spend so much money on power plants. And the City of Toronto, to its credit, has been a real leader in that. They have policies requiring green roofs on their own buildings to be built, either when they retrofit a roof or if they have a new building. Council overwhelmingly voted in favor of what's called a green roof bylaw. And that's the first jurisdiction in North America that said, this is so good for the city, there's such a positive benefit in the longer term for the building owner that we're going to require it. And they went to the province under the City of Toronto Act to get special authority to do that. So that bylaw will kick in January 31st, 2010 for most classes of buildings. So there's a lot more that we can do to move towards restorative, high-performance buildings and sustainable communities, but we need to take a hard look at vegetation and realize it's not just about the aesthetic, right? There are a lot of very functional infrastructural benefits that it brings.